amount of individuals, there's a lot of people thinking they're going to the games, so, okay, I'm going to go live.
All right. All right.
Yeah, you're going to have to let those national champions, congratulations, high five them.
How you guys doing?
Good.
Thanks
Hey,
for
how are
having me
you?
again.
We're good.
Not bad. Yeah.
Hey, Justin, let me get this thing started so we can get it rolling, do a little introduction. So this is week 5 of Masters Chatter. Dave, thanks for jumping on for the second time. Just to recap,
No problem.
we've had Neil Maddox on. We've had Jen, who's become a normal member of this group here, Dieter out of Florida. So I just wanted to do a quick review of who's on the call. We've got Clint Paddock, who's a multiple games athlete. Would have been there a 4th time this year. We've got Jeb Simmons out of Wisconsin, who would have been there his 3rd time this year. Justin LaSala, I think it's 4, right, Justin? Out of New Jersey being there. We've got Bob Jennings out of California, so 2nd time. Real cool thing he's doing, though, is he'll talk a little bit at the end of this thing about legends and where some Masters might be able to compete toward the tail end of the year. Kern out of Long Island, New York. Would have been his 3rd. No, we've been there 3 times, placed 2nd at the games in 16, so pretty cool. I mentioned Jen. Jen, you've been there. Would this been 6?
Yeah, this would be 6.
6 times, so really cool. She's our female representative down out of Florida. And then I've got myself out of New York. Would have been, I should say, it's 16, 17, 18, 3 times at the games, 40 to 44. So we've got really great representation from across the country. So, Dave, a lot of stuff going on over the last couple of days. Love you shooting some squirrels while telling us what's going on with the Masters. Justin, I'm sure you can start us off since you've been the kingpin of this stuff. So why don't you get started with us?
Yeah, I mean, Dave, obviously, a decision was made. How do you guys go about doing that? Is that a one-person decision? I wouldn't assume that. Walk us through how you guys came to the conclusion that we weren't going to have a Masters in teens, or anything else for that matter.
Well, the team thing isn't announced yet, or a decision hasn't been made on that publicly. Team. I'm sorry. I thought you said team. Okay.
Team.
Unless you want to break some news here.
No, I was a little defensive. Right? Yeah, there's a handful of us, primarily myself and Greg, discussed it, and we went through some of the options, and with again, no one knows where all of this is going. There's some signs that might open up, and there might be some light at the end of the tunnel much sooner than later. But we were planning to figure something out, because look, at the time we made the decision, the Olympics had just been canceled. And so a lot of people within our community and within our space like to look at the Olympics and see what they do in some of these situations. So the Olympics have been canceled, and there's a lot of talk and pressure about canceling our event too because of that. And we discussed, a few other people suggested, hey, why don't you guys do something small? Then some people suggested, hey, why don't you guys do something really small at the ranch for the individuals? Talked to Greg about that. We discussed it, and it makes a lot of sense. Doing a small event for the individual men and the individual women at the ranch is something we could put together and try to pull off with very little commitment to very little, without overextending ourselves. Essentially, if we schedule an event there and it has to be canceled or moved, and it has a small number of male and female athletes, that's an easy thing to adjust on and move. But if we had a really big event there, let's talk about a really big event. The ranch, for those probably, have any of you been there? The ranch isn't that big of a place.
No.
It couldn't support that many athletes. It couldn't support, all the different age groups and all the different age divisions. So it made sense to essentially pull those out this year and just reset for next year, because we won't overextend ourselves with doing a small competition with just the men and women. And when you think back to how did we all start? How did the game start? in 2007 at the ranch, which is cool. The game started with just, the individual men and individual women were the two divisions. So even in one regard, returning back there and doing this with this format, and there was no teams, there was no age groups. It's a return to the roots, really, and it's a return to the original style format. Although the people we bring who do come will have qualified through, essentially through the Open still.
Dave, why go through the qualifier review, all right, and reseed the leaderboard if you're not going to crown the master or team champion? That is the second stage. What was the thought behind that?
Well, why go through it? We wanted just to finish that work, and just even at that stage when all the team was doing that process, we didn't know if a lot of that team still didn't even know what was going to happen. So we wanted to just finalize that and end that stage, regardless of what decision we were going to make, and regardless of where this was all going to end up.
Yes, I mean,
interestingly, we could have crowned you guys. You're more formally crowned you guys out of that, but we chose not to.
Right. I mean, can I go around bragging that I'm the fittest 45-year-old American? I mean.
Well, here's one reason. Yeah, go ahead. But
can I update my social media profile? I mean, I got to know how to brand myself, Dave. I mean.
I know. Here's one reason why. I think it's still I don't know if we're quite ready. We might be, but at this stage, we're not going to with your guys, with your level. We might have to do it for the individuals if our event gets canceled, but I don't know if we're quite ready to crown fittest and crown major titles off of just an online competition. Know what I mean? Still let's put some value in the in-person thing, so this whole thing doesn't end up like, well, we can always just revert to just doing it online and crowning people this and that off of online competitions where, scrutinizing all the videos is really tough and challenging, and going through that process isn't easy. So we still are putting some value into the the in-person events.
Right. I know you don't have a ton of time, but I want to run you around the room here, because we all have a lot of questions. Steve, go ahead. You got a question?
I was just going to say, Dave, the communication that came out. I mean, here you are, kind of finalizing the leaderboard, so to speak, from the qualifier, and then you've got all the penalties that get marked up for a number of athletes out of the Masters division. So the leaderboard shakes out. You've got some excited athletes, so to speak, going to the games now. And then they find out that, well, there's no games happening through social media. Do you think that could have been communicated in a different way, just to really show a little bit of respect to the athletes that did make it versus just throwing it out there on social media? I mean,
I've seen that argument, especially from the kids. I've seen like a group of people like really getting at that argument. And honestly, that one to me it's small and it's stylistic. Meaning, like, there's been plenty of things we internally, CrossFit and plenty of other sports have used social media for to make announcements. And so, like, I mean, if it would have made some people feel better if we would have sent them an email first, I get it, but it doesn't resonate too strongly with me. It's just trying to pick and poke holes at the way we chose to do it, which I don't have much sympathy for that argument, but I hear it, but that one doesn't bother me so much. Just because
it is interesting.
We've announced workouts. We have a habit of over the years, like, of leaning heavily on social media to make announcements. So it's not like it was the first time. I think, and it's also, honestly, it's also still one of the most effective ways to get the word out. Now, here's the other angle to that too. So let's say we would have sent emails out, which we could have easily done. No, not easily. There'd be some work behind that. But I don't want to say would have been scooped, but like, do you think everyone would have stayed silent and no one would have said anything so then we could put it out? It's one way to control the narrative, one way to control the release of it. If we would have sent emails to all you guys and the kids, someone would have sent Morning Chalk up first or whoever, and then they would have pumped it out right away, and without us being able to control it other than via an email to you guys. So it's another way to control the message.
But just feedback, though, one of the first things, because I didn't see it, another athlete told me, I saw her that morning and she told me, but something that a lot of people said to me was, God, I hope they at least sent you guys an email and that you didn't find it out on social media. And it wasn't the most upsetting thing for me to find it out on social media, but a lot of people have said that to me, like, God, I hope they didn't just announce it on social media. So the perception is like, oh, Masters get the short end of the straw again. And that's at least what people are saying to me, you know?
Yep, I get it, but I understand the argument, but I'm also like pretty okay with it because, again, we've done way worse.
Yeah.
To me, it's not.
We'll give you that one, Dave.
Bob, go ahead.
That's a field to 10.
Yeah. So, you know, Dave, you kind of answered a bunch of my questions already. You know, why not going with an online comp to kind of crown the top 10? And you know, I had a question around the video review. But I'm going to give you a compliment, and then all these guys are going to call me a brown noser afterwards. But I want to drive this point home because I think it's important. It's something great that you guys did this year. So this year there was the video review was way more strict than it's been in the past. And then the release of the naughty list and the transparency around that was fantastic. And I mean, this is something that we as Masters have been asking for a while. Now it sucks that half of us showed up on that naughty list this year, but you know, do reps better, right? And you don't end up on that list, right? And the list of people that are on it from the Masters and even from the pros, when you went through, you know, in the Open, it's like a who's who of you know, who's been to the games. So my question really then goes to, and I think I'm stealing someone else's around this, is there were multiple people that received like double penalties, right? They submitted 2 videos and they had a major in one and a minor in another. Does that automatically trigger a review of the rest of their videos? Or is that something that you guys maybe might want to look into in the future?
So it's definitely something I'm pretty sure it did not trigger a review of the rest of the videos. I'd have to check with the team. I'm not heavily involved with the review. We have a team who does that. Should it? Maybe, but that's another problem with crowning the an overall winner out of all of this is reviewing every single video. We'd still be doing that. It would take a really long time and a lot of work and a lot of effort to review all these athletes' videos. Those are great points. It could, if you've been hit twice, maybe it should trigger. I'll tell you what, it didn't happen because I know our team couldn't support that much load of reviewing that many videos for everyone. So no is the answer.
Dave, a follow-up on that. What about scaring the master athletes that you may ask for an open video, okay? Because no one asked us for open. So if you get into the top 200, more than likely, we always think that, and I think it usually shakes it out, maybe 1 or 2 outliners, but most of the guys who get there are really good, and they deserve to be there, But sometimes you see some of these names on the leaderboard and then they do the qualifier and they're like 100 something. So their open scores are like, there's no threat to the open really for us anymore.
Yeah, well, that was, what's interesting too on that. No threat. Well, there's pros and cons to the old format where the open really mattered in this too, to your score. Did you guys like that or not like that?
No.
I think it's fine either way.
Yeah,
I'm fine with it either way, but I do like for a lot of people that it's a clean slate. We don't even get everybody that does it. What about sending out invites so at least you get 200 scores? I know the pandemic made it, hard for people maybe to do the qualifier this year, but even like an 18 and 19, there's still 25 people, 50 people that don't even submit all the scores. So, and
even in the open, whatever number, just in general for participation. After week one, like every week, less and less people do all the workouts. So it's not a surprise to me that there's people within even the top two. Look, there's people within that top 200 that know they have no chance going to the next stage. So there's no really, there's not a lot at stake for them. I mean, arguably it should be 50 people or maybe 100 people, not 200, because then you'd have 50 people who really care and really want to fight, or 100 people. Yeah, maybe we should look into that for next year. 100 people who really care and really want to fight. Seeing those numbers that we put out of how many of the 200 actually did it made me think about that. Well, maybe we need to reduce that number because not a lot of people, not even of that 200, are actually completing all the workouts.
Yeah,
you know what's crazy though too? You know what the smallest divisions in all of this are? Is the young ones.
Yeah.
So like the age group, those
14.
divisions are so small, and yet some of them were the most vocal about being upset about not having the opportunity to go to the games. Like the girls 16 to 17 had 1,300 people. 1,300 people
Oh, wow.
sign up in the open. Only
Wow.
1,300 people. Whereas like the male division had 68,000. The male 35 to 39 had 27,000. So that puts in perspective some of, back in the day when we had regionals, one of our when deciding on regional areas, one of the things we looked at was how many athletes registered from a certain area. And it was usually around 7,000 to 10,000 athletes where for a given range for a regional. And so you could think that 7,000 to 10,000 athletes created or basically justified a regional for us in an area. And some of these divisions on the lower side only have like 1,100 people signed up around the world. Yeah, I mean, the girls 14 to 15 only had 800 people signed up.
Wow.
Yeah.
Just interesting numbers.
Yeah.
To be honest, my questions were pretty much answered. Maybe I have a statement. To be honest, Dave, like I was one of those guys that was a little upset I didn't get an email. And I know you compared CrossFit to, other pro sports and stuff, but I just feel, and I've always felt that CrossFit in general is better than that. Like my gym, to me, all my members are like family. And I feel like CrossFit has always felt that and delivered that to a lot. So it was, to me, a little, I guess, I looked at it as a little disrespectful because it's not just an email to myself, it's an email to my family and all the sacrifices that they make throughout the year. I mean, I plan my vacations around working out, going out and doing stuff and coming home some nights, and my 10-year-old daughter wants to hang out and do stuff, and I'm so tired from all the workouts I've done throughout the day that I can't even keep my eyes open, and I think that was a big thing for me, And it's I get it. Like I understood right from the beginning with everything going on that it was a long shot to get there. But I don't know. I guess for me, it's like I said, it was just more of a personal thing, just to send us an email. And I understand what you had said about us leaking it out there beforehand. That way I didn't look at it.
It wasn't meant. There was no disrespect meant from it. Really, like seriously, for us, it's social media is a efficient tool to get out messaging, and efficient tool to get out word oftentimes. So that was strictly it. It wasn't meant to disrespect or to make you guys feel like shit. It was really just because, again, like we have a culture of doing stuff via social media and putting stuff out that way. So for us, it didn't cross our mind. Like I was surprised afterwards, the next day, seeing so many comments about, well, I didn't get an email, or how come you guys didn't send an email? It wasn't meant for, like, we weren't meaning to disrespect you guys. So
Okay.
Sorry.
No problem. I get it. So that was my thing. So, but honestly, one last thing, I think the judging and stuff, the penalties was a good thing, just like Bob said. So I want to make sure you knew that.
Definitely a good step.
Yeah.
Cool. Thank you.
Mike,
I mean, I don't have a dog in the fight on this year, so I didn't qualify this year. So I was, I'm looking forward to more. Like, I'm glad you're looking to put something on at the ranch. I would love, I'm looking forward to that. I know you haven't announced anything else, but let's say operating as if maybe if teams were not making the cut, anybody who what was going team, like AKA Rich Froning, who was still the top 20 in the Open, never competed at the ranch. You think he would throw his hat in the ring, or you think you bait him into doing that?
Oh, I hardly noticed that was the situation or scenario. We'll see, right?
What's the time frame for any more announcements? Are we weeks away, or are you
soon. Yeah, I think sooner than weeks even. So got to get stuff moving. Got to get stuff going.
Okay.
Dave, huge question that I know anybody who qualified is curious about is, am I going to get like a rogue shipment of a bar and some plates and like some nanos? Like, what are we getting? When are we getting it? And, Trump sent us a letter, we got a letter. We got a letter from Trump. All right, what are we getting, Dave? I mean, is there any love?
Man.
Anything to recognize us that made it.
Hey, look, man, I can't go back to buying my own shoes, man. Like, I can't.
Right.
I haven't bought socks in 5 years.
Oh, you guys are too much. You guys are too much. At this point, I don't know, but maybe we'll look into it.
Even a sign to hang on the wall, Dave. That's all I need.
I know you don't have a lot of time, Dave. Thanks too. But when you make these decisions, don't be afraid to discuss with us. If you want to reach out and just throw some things our way. Bob was talking about.
I think we should. Here's the thing. I think we should talk to you guys more often, and I think we should use platforms like this to discuss things privately, not necessarily on Instagram Live. But it's good to hear from you guys, and good to hear like these things. Even the email thing, it's really good to hear about that. So I think what's come of this is really good for us and the potential age group interaction in the future, where let's consider you guys have a line to us, and now I know there's a group of you guys that we can consult with and talk to on a regular basis. So let's keep talking, and let's make this, let's keep a flow of communication going that can help your guys' side of the sport in the future and help us in running your side of the sport in the future.
We appreciate that, Dave.
Really appreciate that.
Are you willing to give up the master workouts to Bob so we can run them at Legends?
There is none right now. We didn't make any. It's way too early in the process.
Okay.
Would you invite all of us out
All right.
to test some? Invite us out to
Yeah,
the
exactly.
I've always wanted to go
That'd be
there.
perfect.
One day we'll get you there. All right. Well, thanks a lot, guys.
No
Thanks,
problem.
Appreciate you
Dave.
having me.
Dave,
Thanks,
thank
Dave.
you.
Thanks, Dave.
Thank you, guys. Bye.
Bye.
All right, so let's talk about the
All
workout.
right.
Dave, you gotta jump off.
Yeah, I'm going. Just want to make sure I'm on. Well, thanks, guys. I appreciate it. Let's stay in contact.
Yep.
Yeah, for sure.
Thank you.
All right.
Sure,
thank
man.
you.
I'm going.
There you go.
All right.
So,
Right.
Jen's only here for Dave.
See you.
I'm not going anywhere.
See you, Jen. Listen, I like that idea, cutting down the top 200.
I think that's awesome.
Yeah.
100 would be great.
100.
100 would be.
And I think if you just threaten, like all you have to do is say, hey, we may ask you for any video
That's
that
yeah.
you do,
Right.
okay? I mean, if you're gonna claim that you're sending the best people, okay, then they have the right to ask you for any video. So I mean,
Yeah,
I think that's
my
all.
only-
I did like that they did 6. What didn't we have 6 scores this year?
Yeah.
Yeah, we had the
Last
repeat.
year, and we only had 4. Maybe is that right?
The qualifier?
Yeah. In 2019, didn't we only have 4?
No, I think it was 5.
last year.
Oh, okay.
I don't think I've
I
ever
don't know.
done less than 5.
Okay.
Do
I
any of
liked
you
having
guys-
6.
Do any of you guys do a Friday night lights for your open? At your
Yeah.
gym?
Yeah, we do.
I
We-
have, but I don't often.
Do you guys do it with your members?
No.
Well, so
Yeah.
So that's
Yeah.
that's my big thing on and asking for videos for the open. Not that I don't want to do it, but my members love. We do a Friday night lights open. We start at 6. Sometimes we don't get done till like 10:30. We do all like the top dogs and the last seats. So sometimes I don't work out till like 10 o'clock at night. It's crazy busy in there, and for me to film it would be the biggest pain in the ass. And I know that sounds like, oh, you're making an excuse or whatever, but the members also love seeing us coaches do the workouts after them. And that would be like in the past when I thought they were going to ask for videos, I used to film them all. And it was like, it was tough, to be honest. And, you know, yeah, would I do it if I needed to? Absolutely. But that's why I'm not 100% like, oh, we need to have those videos for the open.
I just think, hey, if it's the open, at least have some proof that you did the damn thing, you know? So even if you got the damn, you know, camera from above looking at the whole gym doing the workout and there you are doing
security camera.
just whatever. And I mean, because right now, who knows who's putting in scores and who's actually doing these things? We know each other, and we all can gauge as to who's doing what. But and we know there's some blown up scores out there that are like, what the fuck? Even with these master chatter walk right now. It's like, come on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's what, like, if you cut it to 100, I would be nervous if there was no threat of a video. Because now, like, you cut it to 100, now you really incentivize somebody just to put any scores out there. Because now they're like, all right, now there's only 100 of us. I advance the next one. I got a 10% chance of making it if it's a top 10.
If you cut it to 100, I may redo an open workout.
Yeah.
You know,
Right.
Next year,
you know,
you're gonna.
I'm not redoing fucking nothing. You know, like, I mean, I'll take 199, you know, and not redo. Just because,
Right.
I mean, that's not the focus. The focus for us is, you know, peaking at, you know, the qualifier time instead of peaking at the open, you know, like
Right.
I felt out of shape this year for open, quite frankly, you know.
I think a lot of people did because we had that double open, you know, so to go March and then compete in the games in August and then starting in the open again in October. I mean, it was like, oh, this is surreal. Are you kidding me? So I definitely agree being a little out of shape in the open, but not having to worry about doing it twice takes a lot of stress off. So I don't know, that would be, I guess, put it in the column for not having to show a video, you know, for that, or, you know, if it was only 100 people or not having to do it twice or not having to show a video or whatever, like as long as, and again, we're in a little bit of a different situation than most of the people that are competing in the Masters division. So, you know, having been at the games and that sort of thing before, I think we maybe have different perspectives than some other people.
Yeah, I know there's people out there that their goal is to make it to the top 200, right? Like that's, so for those people, would that feel like, you know, when they cut the games from 20 to 10,
Right.
now they're going 200 to 100, you know what I mean? They know they're never going to make it. And those are probably some of the people that, you know, might not do the workouts, the qualifier workouts, you know, those 12, 15 people that Justin was talking about. But, you know, is that something you got to think about too? Like, you know, that's their goal at the end of the day, you know, make a top 200 and they're happy with that. And they know they're not going to go anywhere, you know, and now we're taking that away from them, you know.
That's a good point. Yeah,
I hear that. I
People do shoot
definitely
for that.
hear that. But unfortunately, there's a huge percentage of those people that aren't doing them because of just that. They know that just getting to that point was their thing. And, you know, oh, well, I got here. I got to the game. I don't care how I perform in it, which, you know, in reality, that hurts. You know, you could be like just some big, super strong dude and not even be able to really do an exercise like pistols or handstands or handstand walk, and then get in there
on the deadlift.
Yeah, and then do a 1RM deadlift, and the guy fucking pulls like 580, you know, and but I guess that's how it works.
Well, but
And he just edges you out with his 580.
What's that?
I said, and he just edges you out with his 580.
Right.
Yeah, at minimum, if they don't do all 5 workouts or 6 workouts, you shouldn't affect the leaderboard. So somebody who does like 2 of the 6 or 3 of the 6, they shouldn't impact the leaderboard. Like
Right.
you should have to put all 6 workouts in or whatever to actually affect the leaderboard.
Yeah, either put in all your scores or don't. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just Jeff, going back to your point before, like, you know, where you're talking about guys that know that, you know, their whole goal is to just make it to the top 200, but then they have no intention of doing the AGOQ. Whether it's top 100 make it to the AGOQ or top 200 makes it to the AGOQ, I mean, it's still just kind of an arbitrary number then at that point. Like if they don't have any desire to do the workouts, then
You can still say
really
you're
care if they're not making it, you know?
Yeah. And I suppose on the leaderboard, they would know
where they end up.
where they end up. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I think that they really gotta, you know, when you look at like the guy who won the 40 to 44 this year, right? Joel Day or something, right? Guy's a great athlete. He's podiumed at the games before, but he had 2 major penalties on 2 videos that he submitted.
Yeah.
Right. Like at that point, you got to pull the rest of them, man. Right. Or at least one more.
Yeah.
You know?
Something needs to happen.
Right.
Now, granted, I mean, I'm sorry, go ahead, Jeb.
Didn't they used to do that? I feel like the guy that was in our age group, but I can't think of his name off the top of my head, the guy that looped the video a few years back, double under. What's that, Clint?
He was going for regionals.
He was
though.
Yeah,
going
that was reasonable.
Right. But didn't they then, because that video looked goofy, didn't they ask for more and more videos? So
I
they,
think
what I'm
asked for
saying
all
is
of this.
they did it for the individuals.
Right.
Maybe that's what they need to do for us. You know what
No,
I mean?
but he was an individual. He qualified for regionals.
Right. That's what I'm saying. So they're doing it for those guys. Like they should probably do it for us.
But I think his video looked so wonky, they knew something was wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah. But here's the thing.
And that's probably why they switched us to 2 videos. Because I think my first year we only put 1 video in, right?
Right.
Yeah. When was that? 2005, Clint?
For what?
Your
My
first
first
year?
year? I wish.
But here's something interesting about lowering it to 100 is it's, you know, maybe they can go ahead and watch more videos because they're not dealing with that many more people, you know? I mean, is that part of the factor?
They're only asking for top 20, I think. Or
No, I know a guy in the 40s that was asked, I think.
Really?
Or the 30s? Maybe it was in the 30s.
It's top 20, man.
Is it?
It's top 20.
Come on, Justin. Get your shit together.
You're better than that, Justin.
undertaking of
All right.
watching. Guys, we post videos for Masters Chat. Are you watching that thoroughly throughout? I mean, we're all looking at Justin's reps to make sure he's hitting stuff, but can you imagine 160 videos?
Yeah.
Yeah. I can't imagine it at all.
Dude, I had to do it for Legends last year. Last year was the first year we had online qualifier for Legends, and I had to go through hundreds of videos, man. And it's a fucking nightmare. Like I appreciate what these guys have to go through.
Me too.
First of all, like the shit that some people submit is just like, it's just terrible, right? Like, you know, how are you supposed to tell if you're, you know, getting thruster depth on that, you know, when you're facing the camera or you're standing behind a pole or, you know, whatever, right? Like,
Soft knees.
That's why the guy that watched my deadlift video, I think he was late at night and he was like, fuck him, no rep. Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard, man, looking at videos. I like having had to do it last year, I can appreciate what they have to go through, you know?
Yeah, the logistics got to be crazy.
Yeah.
How critical were you on those videos? Were you as bad as like your videos, like how you got critiqued?
No, God, no.
Or you were more looking for like work capacity?
More looking for work capacity.
And Bob, how good were the videos? I mean, I've seen some people's videos and, you know, they're like a mile away. You can't even see anything, you know?
Yeah.
Put your cheaters on, Justin. Put your cheaters on. Then you can
I'm not a grandfather yet.
I bring it up on like the double screen, you know, and I get a nice view, but like, you know, for the most part last year, I was looking for work capacity. You know, like now that the comp's getting bigger and bigger, I have to be more strict. Right? Like I have to be as strict as HQ was this year.
Bob, how many people do you have help you with the videos?
Just one other guy.
Oh.
How many
Sign me
people
up,
did you
Bob.
have that entered the qualifier?
Last year it was 370. I don't know, just under 380.
Maybe we should put the videos up on here and we'll all critique.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll review video, Bob. I love looking at videos.
Hey, Bob.
Yeah, I can't get enough.
You
Now I
know,
got Debs. Oh my God.
but do you see how CrossFit does it? Like, if you're signed in to CrossFit, you can say if it's good, bad, or no good. You know, you can actually judge it
Oh, through the open when they submit.
through the open. Because I always used to watch Vlad, because Vlad would be doing the workout in his
He's the
garage. You know, he's the best.
He is
He'd be
the
doing
best.
his workout in the garage. You know, he didn't even have like enough change plates and stuff. He always had like some sort of dilemma. But
He crushes it. He
yeah,
crushes
kill
it.
the workout. You know, he'll
Yeah.
like, but I'd always see his videos, and you could say if it was good or if it was bad or if
Yeah.
it was whatever, you know.
I-
But
so I-
I have a question for all you guys. I mean, unless anybody has something.
Well,
Um,
I was just going to add on to that, Justin, real quick. So the only problem with that, right, is like the older age groups are fucking terrible about even just getting the videos in. Like they don't even understand how to copy and paste a link from fucking YouTube into the scoring tab, right? Like, you wouldn't believe the shit I had to go through on that, man.
yeah,
I
can
believe it.
imagine.
Ageism by Bob.
Yeah.
So I want to go around the room because
Bob
I mean,
Jennings, everybody. To Justin's parents who are watching.
you know, I want to go around the room.
Fans. That's the only fans Justin has.
Hey, listen, we're gaining fans. We had Castro on twice. Castro obviously knows what forum to come on when he wants to talk. Yeah, for sure, you know.
We're going to be his little inner circle now, you know?
And listen,
Okay.
tomorrow we got we got Sean and Tommy coming on, which I would imagine I'm going to get this on to on YouTube as fast as we can, you know, so they can maybe watch it and then maybe get maybe a little bit more details than what Dave got to. But you know, the season's technically over for all of us. I want to go around the room and, you know, see what your plans are. I mean, are we getting fat now? You know, or there you go, starting to drink early. So Jen, what's the plan? You know, I mean, you found out, obviously we're all disappointed. You know, what's the move now?
Is that Jen or Jeb?
Jen, sorry.
Jen, sorry. I'm pretty
Ladies
sure my
first.
kids won't watch this, but I got really drunk yesterday.
Yeah.
Oh, that was a good start. I don't know. I will probably, I mean, I just kind of took the weekend to process it all a little bit. I still worked out Friday morning because I was at the gym when I was working out when I found out or whatever, in the middle of a workout. So, but I will probably focus a little bit more on Olympic lifting, to be honest. So there's still, they canceled Worlds for Olympic lifting, but they still have Masters Nationals. I think it's in September. So that'll probably be my next, like thing to focus on or train for. So that I've got a little nagging hip thing that's been going on since before Wadapalooza. So I'm just going to try to get that better and probably focus a little bit on, my Olympic lifts. And then in thinking that there might be a games, I was going to try to focus more on running. So I've probably run more in the past month than I have in the past 3 years. So I might try to keep up with that as well. I don't know. I'm going to try to just figure it out and enjoy it a little bit instead of, I mean, gosh, I haven't had a thing not to train for in like 6 years. I think I missed the games when I was 40. I didn't qualify that first year, but I tried. So this is my 7th year trying for the games. So yeah, it's been a long time to not have like a big thing. So I'm going to see if I can enjoy that. I don't even know.
Mike, what's the plan? Are you aging are you the oldest in the bracket now?
Can you
I
put
am.
a shirt on first?
So,
Can you put
so
your-
are you taking the year off? I mean, what's the plan?
No, I'm officially CrossFit 45 now.
Oh, you're fine.
I'm 43. I'll be 44 in 2 weeks, but in CrossFit next season, I'm 45 right now. So
Okay.
yeah, so I get to join the party with you guys.
Nice.
But yeah, same thing like Jen. Like I've had the same holes since I started. And every year I'm like, this is the year I'm going to work on chest to bar. This is the year I'm going to try to figure out Olympic lifting without just like grip it and rip it, or strict pressing, a jerk. So, I mean, I'll focus on Olympic lifts best I can. Try to figure out the chest to bar butterfly a little more smoother, and then whatever. But I'm trying to ramp. I like Jen was saying, I had last summer off. It was very enjoyable, and this summer I knew I was going to take off, but I think I'll ramp it up a little earlier because it was a slippery slope. I enjoyed last summer, and it was hard getting back into that kind of training mode. So, I'm definitely going to train more this summer. Not trying to peak at the Open, but I still want to make a good showing in my first year in the 45 division Open.
Jab?
For me, I guess, well, a lot of people don't know, like I strained my back about 3 weeks ago. So I haven't been doing anything. Up until this week, I finally started doing some light stuff. Like Jen, I have a hip thing that's been kind of on and off, so I've been probably gonna focus on that. I'm gonna focus on just having fun for a while. And what I mean by that, like I jump into classes once the gym opens back up, spend a little more time hanging out with my kids and family and riding motorcycles and doing fun things that I've put off for a long time. And like everybody, I was focused on, like I told you guys, burpees and running and all that. So I mean, yeah, I'm just gonna try to enjoy it. It is what it is as far as not going, and nothing we can do. So I'm just gonna try to make the best of it, and who knows? I don't really know. I don't have certain things listed out that I'm gonna focus on. I don't have. I'm just gonna CrossFit to CrossFit for now, and ramp it up when I need to when the Open comes. You know what I mean? So,
Steve?
Listen, man, I mean, just words of advice. I took the last year and just finally said to myself, try to enjoy it, I didn't have a plan of trying to get to the games this past year. I did the Open. To me, that was sort of the writing on the wall to say I'm not ready to get into the qualifier mode mentally more than anything. Forget about the tail end of the bracket. I mean, I'll be a 45-year-old this coming year, so I'm fired up about coming back. But just advice to you, just enjoy it for the couple weeks. Yo, Jeb, to see a video of you out there on those motorcycles today, I mean, I showed my kids that, and I thought that was pretty cool, man.
thanks.
So that's the stuff that I think we all kind of set aside, and I don't know if people necessarily realize just how dedicated we are when we are in that zone to qualify for these things. I mean, top 10 is no joke anymore, and you guys, the 5 of you that made it this year is absolutely impressive, man. I love seeing that stuff. But enjoy it. So I've done that, man. I mean, I've done the last year of just, truly saying I'm going to unwind. I want to watch this stuff from outside. I'm bummed for all you guys for not being able to go this year. But, when he said we're back on in 21, I'm all in, man. I'm ready to go. I mean, I'm outside training. I'm doing my thing. I'm looking forward to getting in the gym with Justin and Kern whenever we can because we're close. We live close to each other. Let's push each other. These videos or the chatter wads, I mean, as silly as they are, man, I'm pushing harder in those damn workouts than I have in.
I love them.
So let's keep it going. I mean, I'm fired up. I'm actually really fired up about this coming year.
Bob?
Well, as you know, I just changed my program, right? So I got that to kind of keep me a little bit more motivated, I guess. I was getting a little tired of my old program and just made the switch over to Misfit. So that's kind of keeping me energized every day going into the gym, right? Just doing new stuff, hitting the same stuff in a different fashion, which is kind of nice. I've had people ask me, what are you going to look to do next? Are you going to do, Wadapalooza? Are you going to do this? Are you going to do that? Right. And I don't really know at this point, man. Right now, my biggest focus is going to be Legends, making sure that, we can actually crown a Masters champion in all the age groups this year. None of this has been released like publicly yet. I don't see how Castro can actually pull off a competition in California based on the current environment and based on what the governor said. It just seems like really impractical. So we're already looking to move not only the date for the Legends Championship, which was supposed to be September, we're going to move it out to December, but we're also going to change the location too. So I'm looking at locations in Arizona, Texas, Georgia, Florida. So keep it in the South, but states that are a little bit
Less infected.
yeah, less infected, and the heavy hand of government isn't so much involved either.
Texas is wide open right now, I think. So, I mean, Texas could be a spot for us.
Yeah, Arizona's my top choice just because it's easiest for me, right? If I have to go out there a bunch, which I'll have to do leading up to the competition, I can drive it at least, whereas like Texas, I got to get on a plane. But I'm going to go wherever we can put on the best competition, man. That's really what it comes down to.
Florida's opening up retail tomorrow.
Yeah.
Like it's full on open. I know it's a long ways for you, but it's beaches are open completely starting tomorrow, and retail stores.
Yeah.
Schools open?
Crazy.
Schools
What?
open or no?
Schools, no. Schools are closed.
You going
They're
shopping
staying
tomorrow?
closed for the year.
You gonna go shopping tomorrow?
No.
I
don't like to shop anyway.
Again tomorrow.
Yeah, you're not hungover, are you, Jen?
I was this morning for sure. I was most of the day today. Yeah, it was yard work
Clint.
and drinking and all that. It got the better of me. So it was whatever.
So go ahead, Clint. You're what? You're going to be 49.
I'll be 49 this year. Yeah, I'm a weirdo. Like, I'm a creature of habit. Like, I only have two things that I do every day. It's CrossFit and work. So I'll never change my routine. It's the only thing I have to do.
Yeah.
Like I'm on call 24/7, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. So my vacation every year for the last 3-4 years has been going to Wisconsin. So like, I feel bad that it's not happening, but it's a stress off of me because I don't have to find somebody to cover for me. So it's kind of a relief. I'm bummed, but it's a relief for me. But again, like nothing changes for me. I don't know. I just do the same thing day in and day out. And it's just that I've done it for the last, 8 years and it seems to work. So I don't
That's
know.
what makes you happy, right? That's
Yeah.
what's fun for you.
Yeah.
Good.
Like,
Yeah, I mean, for sure. Like,
I love doing it. So I can't imagine doing anything else.
right. I mean, and just like Bob said too, he reached out to me about Misfit. They said he joined on and stuff. I mean, to Mike's point, doing these master chatter workouts, is fun as heck. I mean, me and Clint been going back and forth with workouts probably for like 2 years now, so it really helps to kind of give you a gauge too as well. I remember when I came back from an injury, I had a hernia, and then I thought I lost all this fitness. And then I remember when Jeb had his shoulder injury, us talking about it, like, he's like, oh, you guys are so far ahead of me. And I'm like, no, it's going to come back, Now, the older we get, that might not happen. Clint, I'm kind of like in the same boat as you, all right, in the sense that, I'm a creature of habit and of a routine. I have my routine, but I love to compete, man. I mean, like, I'm going to miss. I mean, I had every expectation this year to go to the games, all right, and try to win it and make up for, like, I fucked up the year before, and like, I'm chomping at the bit to get back to the first competition that opens up, like, I'm curious what you guys think about, like, I'd love to see Dubai offer masters, all right, and some of these big sanctional events, maybe start thinking about bringing some masters in,
There were a handful that did masters of the sanctionals, because I went through all of them looking at it, and I think there were maybe 5, of the original ones that had masters.
Right. Yeah. I mean,
I know the UK had a big Masters presence.
Yeah.
Whatever that was.
France does too, right? And then
Yeah. Italy
I think-
too.
I did South Fit in December, which was in
Brazil?
Argentina. Yeah, Argentina. But that was team. It was only, they didn't have individual for masters, but it was cool to do a team competition.
The one they have in Jersey that we did last year with Mike and Steve, that they have masters. They're also, it's a team event, but still, I think it kind of gets it out there. Yeah, for me, I'm just the first competition that comes up, as long as it's like legit. I don't care if it's Granite Games or whatever. I'm definitely looking to get back out on the floor. There's no question. That's the fun for me.
Yeah, I'm with you.
How long has it been, Justin? Because you missed Wodapalooza. So what was
Games?
Yeah.
Games.
Games, man. That's it. It'll be like how long? It'll be like however long that is until like something comes up. But I mean, look, we opened up a business for me this year. It was great that I didn't have to be in the top X where that my score for open counted, because we had just opened up a gym and I was out of shape. And I mean, you guys know, I mean, there's a lot of, I mean, I don't care whatever, it's not a gym, any job you open. It was a ton of stress. It was just tough. It was an interesting year this year for sure. Yeah. So tomorrow we got, I mean, I think this thing is working out. What do you guys think?
Yeah.
I like it.
Hey, we gonna talk about the workouts, Justin, or
Yep,
are we gonna do
absolutely.
that tomorrow?
So I don't know if you guys did the workout. If you haven't, we can wait till tomorrow and talk about it. I know a handful of us have already. Clint, you do it yet?
I haven't done it. They don't have a rower at the gym.
You don't have a rower at your house?
I do, but I don't want to do it here.
Preacher to habit. He's going to the fucking gym, Justin. Come on.
Listen, you know what he says to me? I thought he was going to do the workout, and he sends me this partner workout he did with 75-pound dumbbell snatches. I'm like, Kern said it perfect. He's like, that's going to rip my shoulder out of his socket.
Oh yeah, like dumbbell squat snatches of 70.
That's what I did.
Flashbacks to Wodapalooza with the 80-pound fucking stupid ass.
Yeah.
Yep.
So great, but
Are we ever gonna talk about the workout that gave me fucking rhabdo 2 weeks ago? The 50 body weight.
I was fine.
Yeah, I took
That was
the
rough.
W there. We glossed over that. I took the W on that one.
Okay, listen, Mikey killed it. You got the guns to show it. Look at him.
What was your time?
Oh shit! See, Jen seemed to be like, "What was your time?" I was 8'11". I'll redo it though if you tell me you were in the sevens.
I'm disqualified. I only did 45 reps. I'm a dumbass.
Oh,
I counted
nice.
it afterwards.
You're
Yeah,
not-
I was 739, but I only did 45 reps.
I took the,
I see your cheating from the age line qualifier still continues to this.
Yeah, I mean, check my video. Definitely, I'm not trustable.
So, you know what? That's a good point you brought up there, Clint. We had this conversation, quote unquote, backstage. But Bob he brought it up to Dave about the fact that there were actual penalties this year, and they were posted, and 3 of you, on this panel here, got hit. Whether I forget the text message. They were so crazy to follow. Let's go through those 3 guys. All right, on what the penalties were. Obviously, hey, did you think they were, nitpicking? My opinion is it's balls and strikes. It really depends on who's looking at it and what they kind of see. I mean, there's a fine line there. But obviously, you talk about work capacity, as well. Couple of things. What was the violation? Did you see it? All right, are you you're disputing it, so to speak? Yeah, that's it pretty much.
Sure. Yeah, I'll go first. So I got hit on workout 1, which was the thruster and double under. One thruster first, yeah. Thruster double under workout. I got hit with a minor penalty. They took off, a handful of reps. And they said in the description that it was for lack of depth on a couple of the thruster reps. Looking at my video, I have a bad habit on the very first rep of any thruster of not really driving my accent, and I was probably riding the line a little too close, and, they saw it as a no rep. So,
right.
Shit happens, right? when I look at my video, I think that they look like good reps, but I could see how they would say they're not.
The adjustment knocks you down how far? Like, how many points did you lose?
So see, I was in a tight grouping of people that suck at double unders. And so that 5 or whatever reps dropped me down 22 spots on that one workout. But it only dropped me down 1 spot overall.
Right.
Also, is that CrossFit needs to hire Bob Jennings to review every statistic on where people were and where they ended up after the damn penalties.
That was the craziest thing I've ever seen. Awesome. Like, I loved reading it and you sending it, but that was insane. Super impressive.
I got a lot of free time on my hands, man. A lot of free time.
Well done.
Go ahead, Jen. What was your the penalties?
Mine was on the workout 6, and I did not open up my hips enough on front squats at the top. So I didn't go back and watch the video, in all honesty. I mean, I've certainly done some front squats in my life where I didn't open my hips up before. I was trying to be careful, but I don't know. I got first in the workout originally, and I got penalized by 43 seconds. So it dropped me to 4th or 5th. I forget. It was something about it was either 4 points worse or 4 places. I forget. But anyway, I got 4th or 5th in that one. And then overall, I had been in 2nd place with 27 points, and 3rd place was a tie with 28 points. So I dropped to like 31 points, and so I got 4th. So I went from 2nd to 4th because of that, which sucked. But
They're pretty good.
Send us your video. We'll critique it accordingly.
okay.
Mike's ready. Mike's ready to watch it.
He's all rubbing, like just getting ready for this.
Actually, the girls that I talk with the most, two of them got penalties on 2 workouts. One was false start, and then actually another girl, Melissa Wistrom, she went from 7th to 12th, and I saw her video. She sent to me she got a false start, and they were really splitting hairs, guys, on those false starts. I mean, it was like 3, 2, 1, beep, and she didn't touch the bar but bent over during the beep and got a false start. It was really, really, really tricky.
Yeah, see, I thought the false starts were going to be because, like, if you have the Wii timer and then the clock timer, you kind of throw yourself off there a little bit. But again, I mean, at least, something's happening. Jeb.
So for me, I got an email like 4 weeks ago saying my event 6 was good. And so then I get an email, what was that, on Monday? When did we get our emails? Whatever it was.
Yeah.
Tuesday, maybe?
It was Wednesday night.
Okay. And this whole time, I've been looking for an email saying you made it to the games, blah, blah, blah. So when I opened it and it said, after viewing event 6, you had a major penalty, like I'll be honest, my heart dropped. I was like, what the fuck, And all it said was, in several reps on your deadlifts, you didn't extend your knees all the way. And so I was blown away. And in my mind, I'll be honest with you guys, I was like nervous to check the fucking leaderboard to see what it did, because it added like 45 seconds onto my time. And I'm like, I just went from 6th place, I was tied in 6th place with Bob. And I'm like, I just dropped out of the top 10 just like that. And the things that were going through my head was like, number 1, I got to tell my family. Number 2, I got to tell the members at my gym. Like, all this is going through my head, and like, and that's one of the problems that I have. You can ask my wife. Like, instantly I go to the worst. I think the worst instead of just opening the fucking leaderboard. And, but it's like, so I opened the leaderboard, and my placing didn't change at all. I stayed in 6th, and the only thing that changed was Bob was tied with me. And then I started noticing that other people were getting penalties too, and then Bob ended up right behind me. So it was kind of crazy, like major penalty, but I have no idea how many exactly or what reps. And then after all that, I didn't move, a single spot. I stayed right where I was. So, and then I watched my video, and it's like, I'll be, like, deadlifts are not my favorite thing to do. And so I was focused on extending my hips out all the way. And I think by doing that, it caused my knees to slightly bend. I was showing this to Bob earlier, and I sent you guys the video. And I mean, yeah, I can see, like you said, Justin, it's balls and strikes, and it's just who was watching it and, what was going through their head. And, and whoever was watching it is human, you know what I mean? Maybe they make mistakes, maybe they don't, but I never watch my videos unless I have a question on, if there's something on there that I thought maybe didn't look right as far as on film or whatever. So yeah, I never sent the video in saying, oh man, yeah, this is perfect. I got away with not extending my knees all the way or anything like that. I just sent the video, and it was literally not one I was worried about. The one I was worried about was a double under, when I sent you guys double unders and thrusters. And my judge stood between me and the camera on my double unders, and literally all 50 of them, and you can just see my head bouncing over his shoulder, and I'm like, I'm gonna get hit on this one too, So when I got that email for event 6, I thought for sure I was gonna get something for event 1, and I didn't. And it was good because I just had the jump rope in my hand, and I was just jumping up and down. So
That's it.
Maybe
What's that?
maybe something Castro did say, that, if one of them, maybe they didn't even look at that second one. Who knows, or maybe they did, I mean, they don't even really know on how the process is.
Yeah. I mean, so it's a good thing, and I'm glad I did it. It's definitely something that, I think it's great for, I know my members to know that even at the level that we're at, like, we still make mistakes, you know what I mean? And we're not perfect, and we're still learning. And I always try to tell them that, and you can bet your life that I will never not extend my knees fully on a deadlift when I'm deadlifting from here on out, So yeah, it was a long couple of days because I didn't know what was going to come after that. And then you get hit with the social media that they canceled the whole thing. It was just like, my emotions were like this last week, you know what I mean? So, but I'm good now. I'm ready to go. And I moved my stuff back to the gym. I had to work out. Gives me a place to go. And so, I don't know, like I said, it's good now. I'm ready to go.
Right.
I had guys reach out to me the night that the list of shame, was published, and I'm not gonna call out those guys publicly, but like, they were really upset at, like, the whole world's gonna think I'm a cheater, and like, they were really, really bummed out, and I felt like I needed to talk these guys kind of off the ledge, because they're guys that are legit, right? That have made it before, and they've produced in live competitions. Like, being on this list isn't the end of the world, right? I mean, I didn't want to be on it, but do better thrusters, right? And then I won't be on it next time. But just for those guys, because I know some of them watch the show because we have such a huge audience, I just want to go through a list of names real quick of the pros that got hit, right? So Sam Briggs, Frazier, Noah Olson, Chandler Smith, Christy Aramo, Tia Claire Toomey, BKG, Vellner, Sager, Jamie Green, Travis Mayer, Brooke Wells, Hepner, Logan Collins. I mean, these are all people that are household names in CrossFit that got penalties in the open, right? The best CrossFit athletes in the world. So, sometimes it's subjective, to your point, Justin, where it's balls and strikes. None of these people are trying to cheat, just like none of us were trying to cheat, and none of the people that sent me text messages that, were concerned about their image relative to ending up on this list, right? I mean, it's not like they looped a fucking video, right? Then doing double unders.
Yeah.
Somebody didn't like their reps, man. Oh well.
Yeah.
Well, and if you think about it, I mean, maybe I've been to a competition where I didn't get a no rep in an entire competition, but I certainly one of the things that I feel like is important in training is to, you know, while you're doing wall balls, if they say no rep on one, keep going. You know what I mean? Like, we're trained to know that it happens sometimes. It's not like we're trying, but we do get no reps sometimes in the heat of a competition. So, you know, the video, the way I looked at it, I was really bummed when I got the penalty, but then I was like, okay, well, think about it. It's just like getting a no rep in a competition. If they had told me that I wasn't opening my hips up in the competition, I would have fixed it right away. It's just, I don't know how many you know, I got a major as well, so I don't know how many times I did it, you know, whatever they were calling not opening my hips up. But if they had said it in a competition, I would have fixed it right there on the spot one time. I mean, you know, it's not something that you just do intentionally. It just happens sometimes, unfortunately. We certainly strive to, you know, work through it, but.
Right. I tried to blame my coach that was judging me during my video for not telling me.
Always. Absolutely.
Of course.
Definitely their fault.
Just kidding,
Poor
Tyler.
coaches.
Tyler did a great job.
It's never the athlete's fault. And now I know when I go to Wisconsin and I'm doing a workout that I need Tyler to be my judge because he's super lenient.
Well, and you know, talking about the coaches,
Tyler, bring him in, Tyler.
Clint,
talking about the
Clint.
coaches, it does suck for them too, you know, like they try to get us there, and then, you know,
Hey.
their ambitions are so focused on what their athletes are doing, so it really sucks for them too.
Yeah.
Tyler is one of the only people that will judge me because no one wants to make a mistake and be the reason that I don't make it to the games, right?
Yeah.
And like, I give him all the credit in the world because when I ask him, like, hey, can you judge me? He never hesitates. He says yes right away. And then this went down, and of course I gave him a little shit about it. And, you know, but I so much respect for him because there's no one wants to judge me. Like when we do open nights and shit, you know, and I like these last couple of years where your open scores, you know, you're not turning in videos or anything. And I'm literally the guy that's begging people around the room to come judge me. And really, I'm like, just count for me. Like, I just want someone to count for me, right? Like, and yeah, so no, a lot of respect for Tyler for doing it.
a lot of pressure. Hey, Clint,
Yeah.
do you hear these guys? It's like the defense rests, right? You know, I mean, you know.
I mean, I understand where they're
Hey,
at.
Bob had a whole list. Okay, Bob's like this guy and this guy.
Thanks, Bob.
Hey,
I mean,
the
I
way I look
understand.
at it, I'm no different than Matt Frazier. Right?
No, Jen's point is 100%. You know, if you're in a competition and it's live, and they no rep you for bouncing or the bar on a deadlift or not opening up your hips, you're gonna make that fix. I mean, we could all sit here and name the pros that are right there on that fine line that are gonna just say, look, is my judge gonna call this? You know, am I gonna get away with this for all the reps or not? You know, so.
Hey, I know a guy at the games when we did Diane who skipped his last handstand push-up rep.
Yeah, well, the guy no repped him.
And took first place away from me. They no repped him. You can see, judge goes like that. He still runs off, beats me by
running.
2 seconds.
Really?
Who was
Yeah,
it?
no, that Sean, you know, that was his judge no repped him. Sean must have counted in his head 9. He kicked off the wall. I guess he got no repped on what, like 6 or 7?
Yep, somewhere in the middle, 5 or 6.
He just counted 9. Once he counted 9, he came off the wall, and his judge didn't say anything. His
Go back.
judge just.
Cost me the first place.
Wow.
And Jeb, let me ask you a question. Does that put you on the podium?
I don't.
Because you were pretty close.
I don't know if it put me on the podium. It would have been close, but I don't know that he wins that year then.
Bob
Oh,
can
okay.
read-
So that Robbie would have won, right?
No, I would have won. Or you mean overall? Yeah, Robbie.
Overall,
I would have
overall.
won. I would have had the fastest Diane time in the world in the 40 to 44-year-old division.
I'm just waiting to figure out what that supplement is, man, that he was taking. That's what I'm waiting for.
When's he coming on? Is he next week? What do we got?
What's
Listen,
the supplement?
Look,
He took
We
9
can ask.
supplements. What's the supplement that got you popped? Tell me that, buddy. Sorry, I went off.
Oh man, when he does come on, Steve's gonna be hosting that one.
Bring him
listen,
up.
here's the thing. I mean, we have a nice forum here. Obviously, we got Dave twice. You know, we got the. You know, I think we have a pretty good group. These guys coming on tomorrow. They're, obviously covering. I mean,
Who is it though? Just give a recap on who they are, because I don't know who they are.
it's Tommy Marquez and Sean Woodland, who do Talking Elite Fitness, who are the former guys that did the CrossFit update, or two of the guys that were part of that. So yeah, so they're going to be interesting to have on, and obviously we got some information from Dave today, but I think just Dave making the point of keeping the lines of communication open. I mean, obviously we're super excited about some of the changes that happened. Obviously not the cancellation, but that potentially we're moving forward. Potentially we can get some coverage next year for those who do make it next year. But let's talk about the workout. So we did, for those of us who did do it, you guys that you still want to do it, you'll get a little inside information here. Mike, actually, you know what? Let me start with you, Steve. You went unbroken on all of the toe to bar, right?
I did. No, the last round I went 10-5. That fifth round.
Is that a good movement for you?
I like toes to bar. I never really have an issue with them. I'm trying to just get my lungs back. I mean, that's really what I'm focusing on right now. The rowers I kind of pace the row more than anything. I knew I can hold those toes to bar for as long as I did. And I probably, in hindsight, should have held that 15 at the end there just to try to get a couple more calories. But if anything, I paced the row a little bit too much as I got into the second. Here was my mindset: as I got through the 135 thrusters, I was like, I'll get my heart rate back down on the thrust on the rower, and then be able to hit the toes to bar pretty hard. I probably held off a little bit too much on that row. If I were to do it again, I'd push the row a little bit more.
Yeah, because from my standpoint, I broke up the toe to bar in 3 sets, and
you're 1 cal apart. You beat me by 1 cal.
Yeah, so I mean, you went unbroken. So, that's encouraging from my standpoint. I don't know if I was just quicker to the bar or quicker on. I was pulling just over 1,000 on the row. I mean, pretty much after the maybe second round, I was just above 1,000.
He rolled his calories too. He rolled his calories, so that made it.
I reset the monitor every time. Every single.
Put that on your video.
I knew
I'm hoping for some sort of honor system here.
My roll was like a minute, maybe a little bit less in that first round or two, to probably being in the 115s or
right.
So I was slowing down on that row.
After I finished that workout, I actually thought it would have been better if it was like 11 minutes, because I think you would have gotten you would have pushed, it would have stung more because you would have pushed a little harder. I think, like you said, you paced the row a little bit. And I think that was probably, that wouldn't have happened if it was 11 minutes. Mike, you had a really awkward setup,
Yeah.
I know you were disappointed. Yeah, it was like, like the Green Mile back and forth, but, I think you would have been in 5 rounds. What was the plan of attack there?
Yeah, I mean, for me, toes to bar always, like, when I'm in shape, they're a little better now, but I knew 15. I was like, maybe I'd hold 1 or 2 of them, but I was like, 15 minutes is a long time. Let me break them up. I went 9-6 out of the gate. And I lasted 9-6 through 4 rounds. The start of the 5th round, I did 9. And then when I went back up to 6, they were gone. And I was just hanging there, like, double swinging. And I think I did 3 sets to get the final 6. I did like a 3, a 2, and a 1. But I pushed the row a little bit more than I think you guys, knowing that like rowing's good for me. The thrusters, I didn't think they felt okay. But I was really worried about the toes to bar plus the commute, back and forth. But yeah, that's just still, I was just like, son of a bitch, I still wanted 5 rounds, even though I knew I was giving it a little more time walking there and walking back. But
Jen, did you do it?
No, between my
Okay.
hip and then
Yeah.
the way that I was feeling, I was going to do it this weekend, and then sorry guys, I didn't do it.
Yeah, it's all right. There's enough of us. But you know what, though, too? Obviously, a bunch of females, and hopefully they're following us, that they can get on. Because we're getting people that put scores up, which is cool,
Good.
Clint, do you plan on doing it tomorrow or what?
Probably not.
All right. Jeb?
It was
Uh,
your
I
idea,
said
man.
I
It's your idea.
I've been injured, so I'm just started back up, and I'm keeping it light for now until I.
Bob, what was your,
Yeah, I was the first one to go. And,
right.
I did it, I think, right after we got the news that we were getting shit canned. So there was zero motivation, as you guys saw in my video there. I don't know why, but for some reason I decided to break up the thrusters in the first round. And I got 2 rounds into it, and I realized that I hadn't really tried very hard. Until I started going unbroken. And by that point, it was too late. So it was just kind of a shitty workout.
Yeah, the timing wasn't great either.
Nah. I mean, I think, you know, a five rounds would be doable for me on that workout on a, you know, on a solid day. I tend to, I'm like Mike, where I'm really good at toes to bar early on, and then they just fucking, they fall apart hard on me. Like I hit like, you know, once I get past like 50, I'm kind of toast. You know?
All right. Well, we have a new. Go ahead, Steve. I'm
I
sorry.
was just going to say, just listening to the feedback, whether you've done it or you haven't do it, the reasons why, you know, for the other people that watch this, for all of the fans that we do have right now, and I think if there's anything you're going to take away from it is break it up how you want to break it up. If you fuck up, who cares? You know, it doesn't matter. If you don't want to do it that week, don't do it and just move on. I mean, it's not that big a deal. We're just trying to have a good time with this.
Yeah. Although
right.
Mike has a scoreboard at his house.
I do. Joel just posted. He 5 + 17 calories.
Nice.
I'll do it tomorrow.
I didn't get to finish the video review. I was halfway through, then we started. So I was like, oh shit, I gotta. So.
Well, real
I'll go
quick,
back
what do you think that work? I mean, I guess it's different for everybody, but it seemed like a toe to bar workout. I mean, unless, you know, I mean, I guess how much faster are you going to go on the row? I mean, I would think 135, even though it's not a fun thruster. I mean, it's a weight, you know, people are going to do unbroken.
It's a fairly heavy thruster, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, but with only 9 of them,
9 reps.
Yeah.
with only 9 of them, there's no reason to put that bar down.
To me,
See, to me, I would think it would be a rowing workout because I suck at rowing. I'm good at toes to bar and thrusters or, you know, whatever. But the rowing, I mean, that's part of why I think I didn't want to do it. It was just mustering the energy to like mentally do all that rowing. I'm like, ugh. But I didn't do it. So
Jen, how tall are you?
5, almost 2.
So
She's like a ½ inch taller than Justin.
fucking bullshit.
No, Justin, I think that workout's definitely a toe to bar workout, right? Because the row, like, so I was pulling 1200-ish on the row the entire time, right? And like I was coming off like a little over a minute, right? And so you were saying you were pulling around 1,000, right?
After the second round, just above 1,000.
Yeah, and you were probably like 110, right? So like there's not, but if you're taking big long breaks on the toes to ball, like that's where that's going to create separation in that workout,
Yeah.
right? It's like how quick do you get back up on that bar and finish off the step.
All right, well, we've been doing it for an hour here and like 20 minutes. So we have another workout. It's 3 rounds. There's 3 3-rounder couplets. All right, it's 9 pull-ups and 9 burpee box jump over. Male 20 inches, female burpee over the bar, or bar facing. I'm sorry, bar facing. Then it's 3 rounds of 7 chest to bar pull-ups and 7 burpee box jump overs at 24 inches, 20 inches for the girls. And then 3 more rounds of 5 bar muscle up, 5 burpee box jump over at 30 inches and 24 inches for the girls. So,
Awesome workout.
what's that?
It's an awesome workout, man. It looks like fun.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
All right. So, you know, thoughts right off. I think it might be better to kind of finish up the show from a sense to give the workout so that we can get first impressions and then talk about it and be like, I was totally wrong, or, you know, I nailed it, you know? So, I mean, Clint, what are you going to do? You going to come out flying?
That I have no idea. That's just, you know, it's a pull-up workout to start, and then Chester bar than bar muscle ups. It's, you know. Do we have to do this by tomorrow night?
No. We'll do it for
No,
next
it's this
week.
week.
Next week. We have
Yeah.
Anna Tobias coming on the following week.
Yeah, because I told Tommy and Sean if they wanted to do last week's workout, the one that you guys haven't done yet, we could. I asked them if they wanted to do it. I don't know what they have access to or anything either, but you know, Jen, what do you think? Is it a pull-up workout for you, or is it a burpee workout?
Probably even, I would say that when it's was it 975?
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, chest to bar, 7 chest to bars is probably right at, doable for me. But it's going to get my heart rate up. So it's just going to make box jump overs at 20 inches, or I like those. So I'm excited to do the workout because I feel like it'll be a good balance. There's not one thing. In general, I really don't like couplets because there's nowhere to hide, but at least this is a couplet that keeps changing, and I love bar muscle ups. So I get to finish with, something that I feel like I'll feel good going into the bar muscle ups at the end. So I'm excited for it.
Mike, it should be easy for your setup. I was thinking of you.
Yeah, I was like, I got to put the box on the lawn now. I'm like, no, I'm gonna have to sneak to the gym, otherwise I'm gonna get seriously time capped. We got a mercy rule. What do we got? 15 minutes, 10 minutes. What predictions on time?
I mean, I think you're going to EMOM everything.
You think so?
I think it's like a 12 to
Okay.
10 to 12 minute workout. I mean, I think you're going to do 9 pull-ups and 9 burpee box jump overs at 20 inches in a minute. So the first 3 rounds is under 3 minutes. The chest to bar and the 24-inch box, that's not that many reps. That's going to get done in 6. I think you'll get through the first 6 rounds in right around 6 minutes. And then
My heart rate will be through the fucking roof at that point.
And then the next 3 rounds in 14 minutes.
well, yeah, I mean, you know what? Listen, pull your knee pads down to your shins.
Oh man.
But yeah, guys, listen, promote this shit. Like who knows what it's gonna turn into. Jen, you have an open, you have carte blanche, okay, on this. You come in whenever you want. We're always at 8:00 on Monday. I don't know if you want to share your, share your text, and we can get you on the text message as well, because there's a lot of good fun banter going on there.
You don't want to, Jen. It's non-stop.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Go to mow your
Sounds
lawn
good.
and you come back and there's 50 fucking messages on your phone.
7 earlier. 67, Jen, earlier today.
Oh my God.
I figured out how to use the do not disturb.
Oh my God.
But
I'm missing
but yeah,
out,
we're on tomorrow at 8. And that's it.
All right.
All right.
We'll
Good
see.
stuff, guys.
Sounds good,
Good deal.
guys.
All right. Talk to you guys tomorrow.
All right.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Later.